Ooh.
A few years ago, Ira Glass gave an amazing talk called The Gap. It described a sort of cognitive dissonance that artistic folks experience when the art that they're making doesn't measure up to their vision of what that art should look like. It made me realize that IT folks have a gap too. Now, you might be tempted to think it's a career gap, and you'd be wrong. The IT gap is when the technical work that we're doing fails to motivate or inspire or even intrigue us. The IT gap is the distance between the work that we're doing and the work that we want to do. Now, nobody tells us this as IT newbies, and part of the reason for that is tied up in what got us into tech in the first place. In fact, the IT gap has a lot to do with why we have a career in IT at all. Many of us got into IT because we had a desire to make things better. We saw how things work right now, or don't work, actually, is more like it, which is why we're so good at fixing them. But then we have this vision of how it could work, how much better it could be if we could just get in there and tinker with it just a little bit more. But for the first few years, we're just plowing along. There is so much to do and so much to learn, and so we do the hard work of doing the work and learning and growing. But at the same time, we still have that vision of how much more there was to do or to be part of. But that's when we see the gap. We are not doing the cool stuff. We're doing the same old stuff over and over again. I mean, parts are different, right? It's Ethernet instead of Token Ring, but it's still the network. Or it's Microsoft 365 instead of Exchange, but it's still email. Fixing the same thing over and over again. And you know what they say about doing the same thing over and over again. It's the definition of desktop support. So this is what nobody told me. This is the part that I had to figure out for myself. And this is the part I'm sharing with you now. You need to pick. You need to decide where in the IT landscape you find excitement and fulfillment. Not at first, of course, but don't wait too long either. Once you've seen the whole vast star universe of technology and you feel like you understand what it's all about, that's when you need to find the place where your skills and your desires overlap. Now, it might be in networking or storage or app dev or even monitoring. It might have nothing to do with what you're doing today. In fact, it's a pretty safe bet that that's how it's going to go. The point isn't that you start doing it today. The point is that you've chosen and you commit to that goal. Now, how do you get there? A lot of people are going to tell you that you need to side hustle. You need to eat, breathe, sleep, drink this new all-consuming IT baby. They're going to tell you that, and they are really, really wrong. Okay, I'm going to interrupt my very important talk about the IT gap to remind you that you should never, ever let anyone convince you that overworking yourself or being unhealthy or ignoring your relationships is going to somehow bring you magical success in IT or otherwise. Please don't. Your company, your colleagues, the tech community worldwide, not to mention your friends and family, all value you as a whole person. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something, and the something that they're selling is you. Okay, so back to how you get there. It's actually pretty simple. Tell people you're interested. Tell people about your desire to learn in any space that you consider safe. Now, that might be social media, but it might also be just a couple of trusted colleagues. The point is to let people know and keep letting people know. And if they introduce you to other experts, introduce yourself. Ask questions. Ask for suggestions on what to read or watch or listen to. Ask for directions like you're new to a city and you're trying to find the best place for shawarma. Explore. Because not every blog or podcast is going to be a perfect fit for you. But bit by bit, you're going to build a picture of what that place where future you is doing the thing that you want to be doing today, what that looks like. You'll also be building a map of how to get from where you are today to where you want to be. Meanwhile, at the company that you're at now, doing the job you're doing now, they're probably not going to help you get there at all, ever. To them, right now, you are this incredible do-it-all resource. If you start only doing one thing, they're going to have to hire other people to do what you're not. They may not actively try to stop you from growing into the IT professional you want to be, but they're not going to help you get there either. But please, please keep doing it. Tap into the passion that got you into this in the first place, that desire to figure it out and the vision of how it could all be better, and push ahead. As you gain confidence, you're going to find chances to comment in forums, write blog posts, jump onto tweet ups, speak on podcasts. You'll have performed IT alchemy, transforming interest and enthusiasm into experience. And all of a sudden, people are referring to you as an expert. All of a sudden, you're doing what you love, not just what you can. Now, I know that's not where you are right now, but you can get there. As Ira Glass said, it's going to take a while. It is normal to take a while. You just got to fight your way through.